everything that is ghetto, queer, brown, black, right now is very hot, very desirable, given to white bodies to use as if it was an accessory. The same. If you think about anything that is new and exciting and subversive, provocative, sexual, it comes from there. The bridge between mainstream and underground doesn't exist anymore because of the Web 2.0. Pop culture has phagocyted, has eaten up marginal underground. This always happens at the detriment of the black and brown queer ghetto youth. Mm. This is why I have a problem with Iggy Azalea. I call her Miley Virus. It's not saying like, oh, you're white, so you can't twerk. It's not all about that, but it's like, you're white, you have privilege, you need to be aware of it and act in consequence. So you can twerk, as long as you show and display that you're aware of all the different oppressions and elements that go within twerking, that make it so that for you it's just a fun trend and there's no consequence on how you're perceived, on how you're murdered, like black bodies being murdered, black female bodies being murdered, because they're literally the recipient for every sexual violent impulse in society, black female bodies, And if you don't have an awareness of that, then I don't respect, your production. I don't respect Iggy Azalea. I even have some problems with Beyonce, to be honest, because I don't think that... Would Beyonce be the same if she had dreadlocks? Would Beyonce be so famous if she was dark-skinned? Would Beyonce be so famous if she was a bit bigger? I don't think so. So right now we're expected to be over-sexual and very, ready, open, wet. And that also is very alienating for women, because for ages we were supposed to be so closed, pure, chaste, all of these things, and now in 30 years we have, we're supposed to be all that, but also whores, also mothers, also working forces, also good friends, sexy, funny, all of these things is asked from us. What, you're gonna not twerk because you're gonna be objectified? No, just try to strategize how you're objectified, because it's so fun. It's just playing around. It's like role play. Obviously, the white male we discovered the G-spot. We discovered America. And it's like, no, that was there from the beginning. How do I escape the male gaze? Mm-hmm. And the answer is not in what you are or what you post online, but what you do. How do you educate that gaze? White male gaze. I'm trying to dismantle the male gaze. It's so counterculture, and you are punished by it. So you're sort of educating people, telling this is the right thing, and you're but you're gonna get punished, and it's gonna be shitty for you. Twerking comes from Mapuga and Dombolo and all these dances from Africa that themselves come from these crazy rituals of fertility, that themselves come from holistic medicinal, traditional medicines, yoga, Kundalini energy, Chinese medicine, and it goes really, really deep into the psyche of what healers are. It has to do with meditation. It has to do with connecting to the greater self, and the goddess that is in each one of us. That has to do with a certain erotic and sexual autonomy that we used to have as women. And this is why they're seen as the dances of the whores. Because in people's head, they're still linked to the whores and the witches, these women that didn't depend on the husband, they didn't depend on the father, they didn't depend on anybody. Black female bodies, it's chronic for women, and it's even more chronic for black women, that feeling of being stranded and estranged from your own body, that it doesn't belong to you. If you have this booty so big and it basically stops belonging to you, because everybody's
either looking at it or commenting it, or like, you know, so it's like definitely a place where you establish ownership over your own body and over your own wanting to be an object of desire as well as a subject of desire. So you're like desired passive body, which is fine. You are allowed to want to be that and still be a feminist. You know, a lot of people ask me like, how do you say you're a feminist if you're organizing twerk shows? Isn't that like, you know, like so horribly submissive for women? If you see it like that, then you haven't done your job.